BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's get started then, shall we? First of all, a little bit of hopium. You might enjoy this, and again, hopium is the operative word for this. I was having a look at Bitcoin dominance, and if we have a look on the weekly, we see that we are currently testing a 200 simple and exponential moving average on a weekly. If we're going to get a rejection, it's like a decent rejection, a strong rejection from anything on a higher term time frame like a weekly, this would be the area. This would be exactly where you'd be looking for it to happen. Now, it might not feel like that's the sort of thing that's going to happen. Normally, things don't ever really feel like they've reached a significant low, or markets are looking to have a decent move in the opposite direction when you're currently moving in a specific way. So what I mean by that is that for a long time now, Bitcoin has basically been pretty dominant since we marked this low all the way back here in September 2022. So like a year ago. It's been dominant for a whole year. We pulled back a little bit over the last couple of months, fine, but generally speaking, Bitcoin has been the leader. And look, I'm not telling you that it's not going to be the leader. I'm just telling you now that there is a very significant area where a rejection can happen, and it could be pretty sweet. To be fair, it could be awesome, but I'm not going to tell you that definitely going to happen. It's just worth recognizing that there is a chance. There is definitely a chance that it could happen from here. But again, like, I know what that sounds like, because altcoins, as we all know, are wrecked city. Bitcoin pairs, absolute carnage. But you know, if you're gonna get a move counter to the trend, normally it comes what would appear out of nowhere, and you say to the average person, altcoins are, there's a chance that altcoins are actually going to outperform Bitcoin, you know, maybe for just a couple of weeks or something, and all they say is, well, look at this trend, man. The trend, and it's true, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend, but they'll be like, no, Bitcoin is the more dominant one, and Bitcoin is the one that's going to keep moving. And that's fine to say that, but again, I'm just pointing it out to you that things do change, things always change, and if we're going to see a change, this is pretty much where we'd expect to get it from. And if we don't get it from here, then the carnage will continue. So it's just worth pointing out, really. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but it's worth pointing this out to you. This is the area where you'd expect to see something happen. And so altcoins might actually catch a break. Right, thinking about that, what else would we like to see? To complement that particular idea would be the Dixie. Dixie's rejection on last week's candle body, shooting star, not a good look, and continuing with the bit of downside still. Again, this is only Tuesday now. So let's have a look at yesterday's wick. Yeah, another shooting star yesterday into the center of this Bollinger Band. So a support, a very decent support, but then also a rejection on the 10 exponential. So let's take it down another notch to the 4 hourly. What do we see on this? So we just see a continuation of a downtrend here now. Rejections more or less on a Bollinger Band center, meaning that, yeah, we could see a move up to 106.3, and if we pull back, we can probably come back down to 105.3, which is where the 200 exponential and simple is as well. It's also a very decent historical support stroke resistance that we've been in since this whole year, basically. So pullback is more likely than anything. So I'm looking for a 105.3 area to be tagged on Dixie. Again, that should complement all other charts, really. So let's have a look at S&P futures. That's looking okay so far, a little peaky, but generally okay on the 4 hourly. Again, this is just futures. Let's have a look at the daily, and again, the daily's looking okay. Again, a little bit peaky, hitting that Bollinger Band center. So just a series of higher highs, higher lows. Sorry, lower highs, lower lows at the moment. But similar to gold, finding its floor around the 200 simple moving average. This is on the daily. Gold found its bounce on the weekly. So again, the symmetry, as I like to call it, symmetry in charts is not exactly perfect. They work on different time frames. Gold finding a very significant area to bounce from, and again, in the context of this overall trend, you know, similar to S&P. Lower highs, lower lows. However, if you're going to find a bounce, maybe even a reversal from anywhere, it would be here with the 1, 2, 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. Maybe we have a chance to actually move back up and actually reverse this. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. We were looking at this as a descending triangle that broke out towards the end of an apex, which normally results in a fake out. If we're thinking about this fake out based on a weekly, it could take a couple of weeks or maybe even a month or more for this to make its way back up and then break out, because that's what this formation would suggest at this point, along with the 3 drives of hidden bull div. Right, so that's enough of that boring stuff. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, which I'm going to say is probably the most boring of all, to be honest with you. So Bitcoin actually found a bounce on its 21 exponential on the daily here. As far as the money flow index is concerned, it's very high. It's not overheated, it's just pretty high. Historically, it doesn't really like being much higher than outside of the comfort zone, and in the past, when we've come outside of the comfort zone, it normally represents a significant kind of peak in the market. 1, 2, again, you're finding peaks in the market. Peaks, they're not absolute perfect peaks, but they do result in pullbacks a lot of the time. So we can go a little higher than this, but if we did go higher, 30,000, 31, 32,000 would absolutely mark a peak on this, and I would probably be looking for a pullback, maybe even below where we are right now. But you know, first things first, let's see if we can move out of this range. Again, similar to as I was saying yesterday and the day before and the day before that, the more times you hit a resistance or a support, the more likely it is to break out. Currently, this has had a decent buyback, and we are above a 10 exponential, probably looking to retest that previous high, that 200 simple moving average, which again is a resistance. But we're also seeing the same thing on the dominance chart, aren't we? So we want the dominance chart to break down and be rejected from there. And again, it's only the first time it's touched that moving average, whereas Bitcoin on the daily here has touched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, which again, complemented by this golden cross, does feel like there is more of a chance that this will break out, given the momentum and the continuous attempts to test it, and than the dominance chart, which has only done it for the first time on a higher term moving average. So same analysis, conflicting data really when you're thinking about what you want from this, but the reasoning is momentum is still actually okay to the upside generally on the daily here. It's losing momentum, definitely, but it's still okay. And we would be looking for this to break rather than get rejected, only based on the fact that it's tagged it so many times and the momentum on the daily is still okay. And that the Dixie is likely to pull back further, which should complement anything pegged against the dollar, aka Bitcoin. So that is that. So let's have a look at Ethereum, which is obviously not going to have a good looking chart. So this one came down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band range, measly, pathetic bounce. Again, you'd want to see something a bit better than this, given what we're assuming is a possibility on the dominance chart. It's not going to be a very popular idea that alts are going to bounce or anything like that. We had several drives of bullish divergence to lead us to this area, where we did actually go on to make a new local high ever so slightly. What we see on this occasion is nothing really to talk about, to be fair. No bull diff of any description, and actually crossed it down below the 0 point. So actually Ethereum does look like it wants to go down, to be fair. Based on its own merit, it does look like it was to go down. So we are hoping for an overall bounce on the altcoins based simply on the dominance chart. So it's a lot to ask, I know. It is a lot to ask. Even on the 4 hourly, nothing to talk about here. So long story short, Bitcoin can definitely make its way back up to 28,000, maybe 28,500. And altcoins hopefully will see a bounce some point soon. Again, it's a weekly time frame that we're looking at here. So it can take weeks for that to materialize. A breakout from here, carnage, pure carnage for altcoins, absolute devastation. With that said, then, you know, I suppose thinking about the possibility, although it might be slim, the possibility of an altcoin season, are we going to call it that? Yeah, I suppose we will. An alt season. You know, what altcoin would you like me to look at today? I'll make a video for you at some point throughout the day. let me know in the comments which is your preference, and I suppose, you know, to make it fair, the altcoin that gets the most comments will be the one that I'll make the video on. Alternatively, join the Patreon. There's links in the description below, and we do 2 live streams a week, and that's basically all we do. I look at all the things that you want me to look at, and we'll be doing one tonight. Other than that, then, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy, trade safe. It's still a tricky environment to trade in with all the stuff that's unfolding over in the Middle East. So, you know, things can happen that effectively aren't present on the chart. But at the moment, the charts are speaking. They're not speaking very loudly, but they are telling us a story. Whether it's the true narrative of what's going to unfold over the next couple of weeks is, you know, it remains to be seen. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.